It's undeniable that in the competitive world of bodybuilding, the regular use of powerful substances has practically become a requirement for those who aspire to stand out as world-class athletes. Anabolic steroids, for instance, are widely used, but they spark heated debates due to their harmful effects on health. However, some argue that other drugs, like insulin, growth hormone, HGH, and diuretics, can have even more fatal consequences. The often indiscriminate use of these substances can lead to severe complications, including organ failure and even premature death. This raises an important question about the limits of physical performance and the price paid for it. Today, we're going to look at the tragic fate of several bodybuilders who, unfortunately, lost their lives too soon due to the excessive use of these substances. But before we dive in, I'd like to ask for your help to keep this channel alive and continue bringing more relevant and quality content. If you enjoy my work and want to support the production of videos like this one, consider becoming a channel member. Trust me, your contribution won't hurt your wallet, but it makes a huge difference in allowing me to keep creating informative and interesting content for you. And if you're new here, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and hit the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any upcoming videos, and you'll help YouTube understand that this content should be shared with more people. Oh, and I'm on a personal mission to reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so I'm counting on your support to hit that goal together. Let's go, because today's content is unmissable. Dallas McCarver began his bodybuilding career at a very young age, and from the start, his talent was evident. Between 2012 and 2015, he competed in 5 IFBB events, winning 3 of them, which quickly positioned him as one of the brightest prospects of his generation. His progress was remarkable, and in 2016, he earned 8th place in the prestigious Mr. Olympia, the most important competition in the bodybuilding world. Dallas was known for his massive physique, always impressing with his size and symmetry. However, behind this success, there were signs that something was wrong. In March 2017, during the Arnold Classic in Australia, Dallas collapsed on stage while posing. He later explained that he had been battling a respiratory infection that developed into bronchitis, making it difficult for him to breathe and compromising his performance. Although he tried to downplay the incident, many became concerned about his health. Unfortunately, this was not an isolated episode. Just a few months later, on August 22, 2017, McCarver was found unconscious on the floor of his home, with food scattered around him. He was pronounced dead at 3 a.m., leaving the bodybuilding community in shock. The autopsy revealed an alarming condition. His heart was drastically enlarged, his kidneys were hypertrophied, and his liver was 4 times larger than normal. Additionally, doctors discovered that he had thyroid cancer, a condition that had not previously been disclosed. Dallas's death at the age of 26 was a painful reminder of the risks involved in the abusive use of substances like steroids and hormones to achieve an elite physique. The impact of these substances on the body is devastating, and his story serves as a warning about the dangers of pushing physical limits to the extreme. McCarver's legacy, although tragic, continues to be a lesson about the hidden consequences of this relentless pursuit of perfection in bodybuilding. Andreas Munzer was an Austrian professional bodybuilder, widely recognized for his extremely conditioned and defined physique, to the point of being considered one of the most detailed of his era. His journey in bodybuilding began in 1986, when he competed in the European Amateur Championships, and he quickly stood out. In 1989, after winning the heavyweight category at the IFBB Amateur World Championship, Andreas earned his professional status, which opened the doors for him to participate in major competitions, including the prestigious Mr. Olympia and the Arnold Classic, where he always impressed the judges and the audience with his stunningly sculpted physique. However, behind all this success, there was a high price to pay. On March 12, 1996, Andreas began suffering from severe internal bleeding in his stomach, an alarming sign that something was seriously wrong with his body. Although doctors were able to stop the bleeding, his health quickly deteriorated. His kidneys and liver failed, leading to his death on the morning of March 14, 1996. The news deeply shook the bodybuilding world, which awoke to the tragedy of losing one of the sport's greatest athletes. Andreas was known for being one of the bodybuilders most dedicated to achieving physical perfection, and his death sparked serious discussions about the excessive use of anabolic substances. After his death, bodybuilding faced a new wave of criticism regarding the dangers of abusing steroids and other substances to achieve the perfect physique. Although we may never know the whole truth about what led Andreas to this tragic end, it is undeniable that the substances he used played a significant role in the collapse of his body. His legacy serves as a sad reminder that, as impressive as the physiques achieved through these substances may be, the cost to one's health can be devastating. Daniele Seccarexi, a prominent Italian bodybuilder, tragically passed away on September 4, 2013, in Livorno, Tuscany. He became interested in the world of bodybuilding from a very young age, and by the age of 26, he had already become a renowned professional. One of the most significant moments of his career was his participation in the 2006 GP of Spain, where he came very close to qualifying for Mr. Olympia, the most prestigious competition in the world of bodybuilding. In addition to competing at the highest level in Europe, Daniele made it into the Guinness World Records for having one of the largest arms in the world, measuring an impressive 55 centimeters, approximately 21.6 inches, solidifying his reputation as one of the heaviest and most massive bodybuilders in history. However, his life outside of competitions was also marked by controversies. In 2011, Daniele was arrested on charges of involvement in the illegal marketing of steroids, which resulted in his house arrest for a short period. These legal incidents brought to light discussions about the dangers of prolonged use of anabolic substances, something common in the bodybuilding world. Although many rumors circulated regarding his health, particularly about potential heart problems, it is believed that a heart attack was the cause of his death. Daniele Seccarexi was found by his mother after collapsing and hitting his head shortly after returning from Finland, where he had participated in various sporting events. His death deeply shook the bodybuilding community, which lost one of its biggest names. Moreover, it reignited the debate about the dangers of using illicit substances to achieve extreme results in the sport. Daniele Seccarexi leaves behind a legacy of accomplishments, but also serves as a somber reminder of the risks associated with the relentless pursuit of physical perfection. George Peterson, a renowned bodybuilder, tragically passed away just days before competing at the 2021 Olympia. Throughout his career, George participated in several high-level competitions, including multiple appearances at the Olympia, initially in the classic physique category, where he stood out with his balanced and aesthetic physique. However, seeking new challenges, he decided to compete in the 212 category, where his dense and defined musculature promised to place him among the best. The anticipation for George's return to the Olympia stage that weekend was high, and he was determined to break his streak of appearances with a memorable performance. But sadly, fate had other plans. At 37 years old, George Peterson was found lifeless in his hotel room, lying face down, just before the competition. Reports indicated that there was blood around his nose, which suggested that his death may have been related to an aneurysm. His team, who were also at the hotel, and later paramedics, attempted to resuscitate him, but without success, as it appeared George had been dead for several hours. His coach, Justin Miller, stated that George was in his best shape, both mentally and physically, which made the news of his death even more unexpected and devastating for everyone who knew him. George Peterson was more than just a great athlete. He was admired for his kind personality and for being an excellent ambassador for the sport. His death was deeply mourned by the entire bodybuilding community, and his absence will be felt for a long time. His legacy, both on and off the stage, remains a reminder of the positive impact he had on the sport and the lives of those around him. Anthony DeRezzo was a dedicated bodybuilder and personal trainer with over a decade of experience in the field. A graduate of Boston University, he not only turned his passion for bodybuilding into a career, but also helped many achieve their physical goals. In 1997, Anthony reached the peak of his career by becoming the overall champion of New England, a victory that solidified his reputation in the bodybuilding scene. Additionally, he competed multiple times at the NPC Nationals, placing in the top 10 on several occasions, showcasing his consistency and dedication to the sport. Anthony also ventured into powerlifting, demonstrating his versatility as a strength athlete. However, in 1997, while intensely training for the NPC Nationals, Anthony suffered a serious injury, tearing his triceps muscle, which forced him to undergo surgery to reattach the muscle to his elbow. Recovery from this surgery took nearly 2 years, delaying his career. Even so, Anthony showed his resilience, returning to the gym and resuming his training with even more focus and determination. In 2002, however, he was diagnosed with a congenital heart disease, a condition that would put his health at risk. On a fateful day, while preparing to compete in the Masters Nationals, Anthony collapsed in his room at the Sheraton Station Square Hotel in Pittsburgh. Sadly, he did not survive, and an autopsy determined that the cause of his death was cardiomyopathy, according to the Allegheny County Coroner's Office. Anthony's loss was deeply felt in the bodybuilding community, where he was admired for his dedication, resilience, and passion for the sport. His journey, although tragically cut short, serves as a reminder of the challenges many athletes face, both physical and health-related. Greg Kovacs was a Canadian bodybuilder who made his mark in the sport, born and raised in Niagara Falls. Known for his unmatched size, Greg stood out uniquely in the world of professional bodybuilding. With an impressive height of 1.90 meters, approximately 6 feet 3 inches, and weighing around 180 kilograms, approximately 396 pounds, he was a true mountain of muscle, capable of intimidating other competitors with his imposing presence. Kovacs was an exception in the community, as few bodybuilders ever reached such a massive size, and at the peak of his career, his arms measured 68 centimeters, approximately 26.7 inches, a feat that few have ever achieved. Despite his monumental physique, his results in professional competitions did not reflect his full potential. His best placement was 13th at the 2004 Arnold Classic, a performance that fell short of expectations, especially considering his size and impressive presence. However, even without major wins on stage, Greg Kovacs became an icon in the bodybuilding community, respected and admired not only for his enormous physical appearance, but also for his influence beyond the stage. Many aspiring athletes saw him as an inspiration, someone who had pushed the human physique to an almost unbelievable level. Unfortunately, Greg Kovacs' life had a tragic end. On November 22, 2013, at the age of 44, he passed away from heart failure in his condominium. His death sparked discussions about the dangers associated with extreme bodybuilding, particularly concerning the use of substances that overload the body. The impact of his death was deeply felt in the bodybuilding world, where he is still remembered as one of the largest, literally, athletes in history. Greg's legacy lives on, and his story serves as a warning about the sacrifices made in pursuit of physical greatness while also celebrating the strength and dedication he brought to the sport. On November 16, 2021, the bodybuilding and fitness world was shaken by the tragic news of the sudden death of Sean Roden, professional bodybuilder and 2018 Mr. Olympia champion. At 46 years old, Sean passed away from a heart attack, leaving a massive void in the sport. Roden was not just another bodybuilder. He was a true legend. Known for his massive shoulders and impressive quadriceps, Sean made history by becoming the oldest bodybuilder to win Mr. Olympia, claiming the crown in 2018 at 43 years and 5 months old. His victory wasn't just a personal achievement, but a milestone for all athletes who fight against adversity, proving that age is not a barrier to greatness. Unfortunately, after his victory, Sean Roden was banned from competing in the 2019 Mr. Olympia due to a serious accusation of misconduct. This ban prevented Sean from defending his title, and who could have imagined that 2018 would be the last time he would step onto the Olympia stage? Sean's life was tragically cut short before he could defend himself or clear his name of the accusations. His death caused an outpouring of grief in the bodybuilding community, and many, like Sergio Oliva Jr., believe that the emotional weight of this situation was devastating for Sean. Sergio stated that Sean died because he couldn't do what he loved most, compete. And this reflection resonates deeply, as Roden dedicated his life to bodybuilding, and his absence from the stage was a loss not only for him but for all the fans and admirers of the sport. Sean Roden's story is a mix of triumph and tragedy. He leaves behind an incredible legacy as a champion, but his premature death also raises important discussions about the immense pressure athletes face, both physically and mentally. Scott Milne, an IFBB professional bodybuilder, unexpectedly passed away from a heart attack at his home at the age of 46, leaving behind a mixed legacy of achievements and challenges. Scott, a large Canadian figure, competed from 1996 to 2004 and earned his pro card in 2002, marking the peak of his competitive career. Although he never recorded a win in professional shows, Scott remained a prominent figure in bodybuilding. Throughout his journey, he faced a series of injuries that prevented him from reaching greater heights on stage. As a result, Scott decided to step away from competitions and focused his efforts on helping others train, using his experience and knowledge to guide the next generation of athletes. Additionally, he made appearances on Canadian TV shows, expanding his reach beyond the bodybuilding world. In a 2010 interview, Scott revealed that his biggest inspiration to compete in bodybuilding came from none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger, a legend in the sport. Despite his difficulties, Scott maintained an unwavering passion for bodybuilding, something that continued to shape his life. However, his life was not free from controversy. He faced legal issues related to drug and steroid trafficking, episodes that tarnished his reputation at certain points. Nevertheless, to the bodybuilding community, Scott, with his impressive height of 1.92 meters, approximately 6 feet 4 inches, and 113 kilograms, approximately 249 pounds, was a beloved and respected figure. Known as the Canadian Moose, he was admired for his physical stature and charismatic presence. After his death, David Palumbo, an influential figure in bodybuilding, paid a heartfelt tribute to Scott Milne, saying, "I'm very sorry to hear that one of the true superheroes, Scott Milne, passed away from a heart attack. The Canadian Moose, as he was known, will be greatly missed but never forgotten." These words reflect the impact Scott had on the bodybuilding community, a gentle giant who, despite his struggles and controversies, left his mark on the sport and will be fondly remembered. Nasser El Sambadi was born on October 15, 1965, to an Egyptian father and a Yugoslav mother, a combination that not only gave him a rich cultural heritage but also impressive genetics. From an early age, he demonstrated unusual strength. At 17, Nasser was already bench pressing 85 kilograms, approximately 187 pounds, signaling the physical potential that would later be developed. Despite his colossal physique, Nasser was also a man of great intellect. He graduated from the University of Augsburg in Germany, which set him apart from many bodybuilders of his time, with his nickname, the Professor, reflecting both his imposing appearance and his brilliant articulation. Nasser began his bodybuilding career in 1983, and through hard work, he made his Mr. Olympia debut in 1994, finishing in a respectable 7th place. Over the next decade, Nasser solidified himself as one of the biggest names in the sport, qualifying for 10 consecutive editions of Mr. Olympia and competing in 9 of them. His most notable moment came in 1997 when he secured 2nd place, finishing behind only Dorian Yates. Many fans and experts still believe that Nasser should have been the true champion that year, earning him the nickname the uncrowned Mr. Olympia. His impressive combination of muscle size and impeccable definition made him a formidable competitor. Though he never won the Mr. Olympia title, his most significant victory came in 1999 when Nasser won the prestigious Arnold Classic in Ohio, one of bodybuilding's largest events. This triumph was the pinnacle of his career and cemented his status as a legend in the sport. However, despite his success on stage, Nasser faced significant health challenges. A severe staph infection in his shoulder nearly cost him his life and kept him hospitalized for a long time, requiring multiple surgeries to recover. During this time, complications arose that indicated the need for a heart transplant, but sadly, he was not considered a viable candidate for the procedure. Aware of his condition, Nasser chose to spend his final days with his family in Egypt. On March 20, 2013, the bodybuilding world lost one of its greatest stars when Nasser passed away in his sleep, the result of kidney and heart failure. His death was a great shock to fans and the bodybuilding community, who saw in Nasser not just an unparalleled physique, but also an example of dedication to the sport. His legacy, both as a competitor and as an influential figure, continues to inspire bodybuilders around the world, and his story serves as a reminder of the sacrifices many athletes make in pursuit of physical perfection. Even after his passing, Nasser El Sombaty remains an immortal legend in the annals of bodybuilding. Mike Matarazzo is widely recognized as one of the most iconic and memorable bodybuilders of all time, especially for his extraordinary calves and arms that made him an imposing presence in every competition. Born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts, Mike grew up during a time of great sporting influences, and like many young men of his generation, he was inspired by the legendary character Rocky Balboa to pursue a career in boxing. His passion for the sport led him to win his first major title at the age of 24, becoming the Massachusetts light heavyweight champion in 1985. However, it was in bodybuilding that Mike found his true calling, a journey that would transform his life and make him one of the most recognizable faces in the sport. Between 1991 and 2000, Mike competed 7 times in the prestigious Mr. Olympia contest, going up against the best bodybuilders in the world. His best placement was 9th in 1998, a considerable achievement given the high level of competition and the legendary names that dominated the sport during that decade. Even without reaching the top of the Olympia, Mike earned a loyal fan base that admired him not only for his impressive physique, but also for his captivating and approachable personality. He stood out for his passion for the sport and his ability to inspire others to pursue their dreams in the world of bodybuilding. Unfortunately, Mike Matarazzo's career was abruptly cut short due to health issues. On December 8, 2004, he was forced to retire from the sport after undergoing delicate open-heart surgery due to cardiac complications. Stepping away from competition was a tough blow, but Mike remained involved in the sport and stayed connected with his fans, always showing his love for bodybuilding. However, 3 years later, on November 8, 2007, he suffered a heart attack, further worsening his health condition. For years, Mike bravely fought against his cardiac complications and awaited a heart transplant. Sadly, on August 16, 2014, he passed away while waiting for the procedure, leaving the bodybuilding community in mourning. His death marked the end of an era, but his legacy remains alive. Mike Matarazzo was not only a bodybuilder with an impressive physique, but also a true ambassador of the sport, whose charisma and dedication inspired thousands of people. He will forever be remembered as a legend in bodybuilding, and his story serves as a testament to perseverance and passion, even in the face of the greatest challenges. So, what do you think about these untimely deaths? Was it natural selection at play? Or do steroids share some of the blame in these tragic outcomes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. And while you're here, I want to ask for your help to keep this channel running and continue bringing more relevant and quality content. If you enjoy my work and want to support the production of videos like this one, consider becoming a channel member. Your contribution is small, but it makes a huge difference in helping me continue creating informative and interesting content for you. And if you're new here, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and hit the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any of the upcoming videos, and you'll also help YouTube understand that this content needs to be shared with more people. Oh, and don't forget, I'm on a personal mission to reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm counting on your support to hit that goal together. So, let's get to it, because today's content is unmissable.